Kind of crazy that he had that on him. And that's a big gun.
A man accused of bringing a loaded shotgun onto a Metro bus. The new measures to stop people from skipping out on fares, how it helped police make an arrest.
Hi, my friends. We're still under a DMV first warn day due to the bitter cold. How long does that stick around? Details in a moment.
A proposal to allow Maryland grocery stores to sell beer and wine.
Even if we could compete on price, beer and wine's an impulse item at a grocery store.
While the plan leaves a bitter taste with small liquor store owners.
Bringing some holiday magic to children in the hospital. The special ride Santa made.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. Let's get started with the weather. We are in a DMV first warn day. We're going to take a live look outside right now. And this is 495 in Montgomery County, Maryland. And you can see the cars are able to move quite well along the streets. But we've had wet roads and a little bit of wind throughout the area.
We certainly have. Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb is here. And Janessa, that has moved out, but now the big concern, the dropping temperatures.
Yeah, you still have the wind flow. It is super blustery. I want to show you this live shot of DC metro area, and the winds, they are gusting. And so that's what's making the wind chill a huge problem going into tonight. We have some spots that have dropped 25 to 30 degrees in about a 7-hour period of span. We started the day in the 60s, and we have continued to gradually go down due to this cold front that's now pushing offshore, but it's leaving the leftovers of the winds up to about 35 to 40 miles per hour across all areas of the DMV. So here's the leftovers. It's pushed out towards Delaware. And so what we are dealing with now is kind of this wider view of a little bit of snow that's trying to make its way across West Virginia, parts of Garrett County, still under that winter weather advisory until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. They are going to let go of those wind advisories. They just did that about 10 minutes ago across the entire region, but still very gusty. Feel like temperatures right now, 20s and almost down to the teens in some parts of western Maryland, 36 for DC. I have more of this forecast with a lot of clearing back on the board going into your Thursday and Friday. I have your full forecast. It's coming up.
All right, Janessa. Now we have new details tonight about a man who was found with a loaded shotgun in his coat trying to get onto a Metro bus in D.C.
Yeah, an officer cracking down on fare evaders reportedly made that discovery.
DC News Now's Ben Dennis joining us live, where we're told that man got on the bus.
Yeah, and Ben, we're learning tonight this man was already wanted outside of D.C.
Yeah, indeed, Chris and Susan, good evening. The man who jumped on this bus, he had that loaded shotgun hidden in his coat. Imagine that happening right next to you. That's what Metro Transit police say happened right here at 4th and H in Northwest. We're just down the street from the Chinatown gate. The suspect here, reportedly a fugitive out of Maryland, and the gun he had, that's also suspected to be stolen from PG County.
That's a big gun.
Somebody could have got shot. You don't know what a guy was thinking at that time.
Most Metro bus riders we spoke with not keen on the idea a fellow passenger would carry a concealed loaded shotgun.
I don't got to get into that business because that's not my problem. At least he didn't hurt nobody.
He's stupid, the person that did it, but kind of crazy.
Around 10:30 in the morning Tuesday, Metro Transit police say an officer in regular clothes was on patrol for passengers evading fares, part of a crackdown that started last week. Why? WMATA says about 70% of bus riders don't pay their fare.
That is just unacceptable.
Transit police say 30-year-old Gerald Evans skipped the fare getting on the X2 bus. The officer noticed, asked him to share his ID to issue a citation. Evans reportedly refused, was arrested, and searched. That's when police say this loaded shotgun was discovered in his coat, later determined to have been stolen out of Prince George's County. Does that concern you riding the X2?
Yes, it does. It concerns a lot of people riding Metro buses.
D.C. bars people from carrying a concealed firearm in many cases, including on public transit. For Evans, potentially more consequences on top of gun charges and evading the fare. He allegedly had an open felony warrant in Anne Arundel County for theft.
It's a terrible experience for someone to be carrying firearms loaded on the Metro bus.
Evans faces a series of charges, 3 of them that are gun related. He faces an ammunition charge as well as being a fugitive from justice and an offense related to that fare evasion. In Northwest along H Street, Ben Dennis, DC News Now.
All right, new details tonight in D.C. for Councilmember Trayon White, who is charged with bribery.
An independent investigation now says that there was substantial evidence White directly engaged with the city's violence interruption agencies. Now, the ad hoc committee releasing the report done by an outside law firm, and they say it includes in-depth interviews with D.C. officials and employees. White is accused of accepting $156,000 in bribes to extend violence interruption program contracts.
Yeah, the firm also saying White declined to 2 interview requests. The investigation linked White to a home in Ward 8, which means he did not violate the residency requirement. Now, despite all these allegations and challenges, voters overwhelmingly re-elected White in November.
Happening tomorrow, the Maryland man who stole a truck and led police on this multi-county chase will be sentenced. Flavio Lanuza pleaded guilty in September. The chase was back in February and started near the Greenbelt Metro station when Lanuza stole a tow truck. He then tried to escape police by driving through Prince George's County and Montgomery County. And that's when it looked like a scene from a demolition derby, as police describing Lanuza crashed into 2 police cruisers and 11 other cars. He faces up to 14 years and 10 months in prison.
All right, developing now at 9 o'clock, Marylanders could soon walk into a grocery store and buy beer or wine. That is if Governor Wes Moore has his way. Right now, you can only buy beer and wine in liquor stores and for grocery stores that were grandfathered in when the law changed back in the late 70s. DC News Now's Max Marcilla joining us live from a Giant in Wheaton tonight. And Max, there's real momentum, and this really could be a big game changer.
It really could be, Chris. Look, whenever the governor puts his weight behind an issue, it immediately gets some legitimacy. That's the case here, but this is far from the first time something like this has been talked about. In fact, it seems like it's been going on not only in Annapolis with the Maryland legislature, but with Marylanders just in general, who many of whom have been pushing for this and hoping for this for a while. But tonight, we are also hearing about some potential concerns.
Do you need a bag? Thank you.
You have a great day.
Enjoy.
It's the sounds of a sale at LB's Beer and Wine, a familiar sound.
Be 74 years in May.
A very familiar sound. This family-run shop has been a staple in Wheaton for decades, but owner Jeff Bobrow is worried that could change.
I can't compete with the chain stores, and so early retirement, I guess.
What Bobrow fears is what many Marylanders are excited for.
It's easy to access.
It would just be great.
Governor Wes Moore posting this on social media. Maryland is one of the only states in the nation that bans the sale of beer and wine in grocery stores. It's time for a change.
It makes it easier for a person that's over 21 that is legal to get it.
Soon to be 21-year-olds Natalia and Monica say it would be much more convenient for them and many others. That's why there's excitement, but not without concerns.
It could be a bad thing. People may drink more.
Both for customers and businesses.
It will actually put us out of business because we can't compete, even if we could compete on price. Beer and wine's an impulse item at a grocery store. Hello.
Bobrow says convenience for some could hurt his store. And as he welcomes in customers, he's hoping those pushing for a change acknowledge the potential impact.
It's not the chain stores, of course. It's mom and pop stores they work 80 hours a week to, make a living.
Now, Governor Moore says a change like this would create more choice and competition. He also says he is hopeful and believes that lawmakers can put a bill together that would also address some of the concerns from people who don't want these changes. Reporting live in Wheaton, Maryland, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Meanwhile, in Virginia, Governor Glenn Youngkin is celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the Right Help Right Now initiative for behavioral health. Youngkin saying there are more than 100 publicly funded mobile crisis response units in the Commonwealth. They operate 24/7 with an average response time of 50 minutes. Youngkin saying more teams ensures Virginians get the support they need when they need it.
We have seen as a result is a substantial decline in overdoses in the Commonwealth of Virginia. My friends, just in the last year, overdoses in the Commonwealth of Virginia have declined by 23%.
Youngkin adds that when he presents his proposed amendments to the state budget next week, it will include about $70 million additional dollars for improvements to Virginia's behavioral health system.
An important alert in Maryland this holiday season. Montgomery County Police will be focused on getting drunk and impaired drivers off the roads. Police say just last week they arrested 37 people for DUI, and those are just the ones that the Alcohol Task Force made. The holiday enforcement started back on November 20th, and they've already arrested 100 drivers for being impaired.
Well, your commute may be getting faster thanks to changes coming to Metro Rail and Metro Bus. Starting this weekend, green and yellow line trains will arrive every 6 minutes instead of 8 until 9:30 at night. And Metro Bus will change 26 routes. This will help accommodate circulator bus riders when that service stops at the end of the month. All these changes take effect on Sunday. You can read much more about it on our website, dcnewsnow.com.
Over in Maryland, Santa was in town to make sure that families needing medical care over in Montgomery County had a really happy start to the holidays. The big guy visiting the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health. The nonprofit offers families a place to stay while their children are getting treatment for rare and serious diseases. And you can see the big guy right there teaming up with police to make 8 different stops and then finally heading over to the Children's Inn.
It's kids, it's adults alike. They just love seeing Santa Claus, and it's kind of a surprise.
They're away from their families during the holiday season, which is, as you can imagine, really hard. So just being able to see Santa Claus and see other community members come out and see them means a lot to them.
Just such great work there. For more information about the facility, go to their website, childrensinn.org.
So many smiles and so many faces there, right?
Oh, yeah. And when you have the big guy, you know you have to have a police escort.
Absolutely.
VIP treatment.
Absolutely. Great to see. All right.